Abigail Ockwell here, and welcome back to another WIP and Chat. I'm so sorry that I was away last week, but honestly, with work, it was insane, and I mean it literally insane, that I just didn't really have enough time to record. So basically, this week it will probably be a longer WIP and Chat because I effectively have 2 weeks of stories for you, and oh my god, the stories this week, seriously. I'm gonna have to try and think how I break this up, whether I have kind of So, how am I going to break this up? I don't know whether to kind of have that. Okay. So, I think I know how I'm going to do this. So, I will do a quick Ethan update. So, as you know, last week he was meant to have his surgery. However, 2 hours even before, they called him up and cancelled. So yeah, hopefully, I think he's supposed to have it, they rescheduled it for this Friday, so hopefully it will be sorted this week. So as you can see, got pen. This pen, it is from Lason Lathe Works. He is over on Etsy and Facebook, so I'll link them down below. And I've got my all-in-one Everlasting Tip, and then I've also got my 9-placer from Everlasting Tips. I also have a new tray. So yeah, I'd been looking to replace my purple one for a really long time, because I mean, in all fairness, that one has been with me since I started diamond painting. So I was just looking for something, and I had seen these trays, these 3D trays on other people's YouTubers by let me get this the right way round, Bella Art de Nicole, or Bella de Art Nicole. I'm pretty sure it was the first way around. But yeah, so I got 2 trays. This is my really big one, so this is the main one that you'll see. And as you can see, there's built-in funnel, and I really like it because the sides are really high, and also when I'm not using it, there's a little lid, so I can just pop that over the top. Slides over, and yeah, so I had it the wrong way around, but you know, you guys get the gist. And yeah, I've been using it and I love it. Also, as you can see, I've got a new project. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the Dragonlings DP along. So this is Randall Spangler's Flight of the Fireflies. I finished the first section a couple of days ago, and I haven't worked on it since because I've been trying to do it slow, just because of kind of there are times where you have to have photos like of your progress, so I'm kind of trying to do 1 row like a week in the time frame, which obviously is going ridiculously quickly. So yeah, it kind of means that I leave things for a bit. But anyway, so if you're new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and this is my one. As I said, it's Randall Spangler's Flight of the Fireflies. Unfortunately, the DP along that I'm doing, you can't enter in anymore. I very rarely do ones that have prizes. well, actually, the first one I did was last year, which I posted my progress on Instagram. This was before I did YouTube, where I did the drills and chills, which was like Halloween themed, where you have to do something that's Halloween inspired, or autumnal, or as the people in America call, fall inspired. So that was really fun. I did Mandy Manzano's Love at Its Darkest, which is discontinued now, but it was Jack and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, that was what I did last year. Also, what's going on about that? So yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't win anything. I just really do it for the fun, to be honest. It's just fun just to diamond paint and just see everyone else's progress. And see kind of the really big ones. Yeah, this one is the only one I've got, and it is quite small. So that's why I'm probably working it up so quickly as well. Yeah, no, so yeah, I've been very slack on videos and everything. I mean, hell, I only put up an unboxing that I filmed last month yesterday, which was Wednesday. Yeah, I've been very slack, which, you know, I'm not happy about, but yeah, I can't really kind of complain just because, you know, it has been busy. You know, when you have a new kind of big release, and I mean, it's even worse at the moment because we've got Black Widow out. That came out yesterday, and yes, I was working, but we'll get on to that. So I'm gonna backtrack. First story, I'm gonna backtrack a couple of weeks ago. So you remember my grandfather's birthday, right? Yeah. So we got to the restaurant. My mum and my granddad were in my aunt's car. And my aunt tried to get into a really kind of awkward space that's really awkward to park in. And this car park I'd actually been in earlier that day because I've been having my driving lesson, which was the mock test that I failed because of a pigeon. There's a very funny story about that after this. So me, my uncle, and Josh, we were all waiting for my aunts, my mum, and my granddad. And yeah, so they get in. They try. My aunt tries to get in a really kind of awkward space, and I mean it's awkward. I don't even know why it's parking space. I can understand her wanting to kind of try and get near the door just because of my uncle's age. Not my uncle, my grandfather's age. Yeah, he's 92. And yeah, so she was trying to reverse into this really funny shaped bay. I wish I got a video of it because it was yeah, it was shocking. She was all out and everything. I was trying to keep my composure, but I just couldn't. I was like, I just was laughing. It was honestly the most entertaining part of my day, watching my aunt trying to get into this really tiny space and it not going according to plan. So now I'm going to get into that whole pigeon story. So if you don't know, the day of my grandfather's birthday, I had a mock test and I failed because of a bloody pigeon. It was sitting on a speed bump. I sped up, and the pigeon was there, and I guess in a way I was kind of trying to get it to move. But no, he was just sitting there laughing. And yeah, that was the bit I failed on. I sped up approaching a speed bump that this damn pigeon was sitting on. So I got back and I asked my cat Misty, who is quite the hunter, and I mean that, she's quite the hunter. I asked her to get revenge by bringing me back a pigeon. I said, Misty, can you please catch me a pigeon? Well, less than a week later, I think it was on Tuesday. Yeah, Misty comes back. My mum had seen her trying something, and there were a whole load of feathers. And yeah, you can guess where this is going. She had caught a pigeon. She brought me a pigeon, like a massive wood pigeon. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this cat. I just couldn't believe she'd actually got a pigeon. So yeah, my mum bagged it up and she did throw it out. The pigeon was unfortunately deceased. But hey, she caught me a pigeon, right? She caught me a pigeon, so yes. Misty caught me a pigeon. But oh, it's the most hilarious thing in the world. Yeah, but it still makes me laugh thinking about it. The fact she actually caught me a pigeon. I just thought, this is just brilliant. Revenge. So yes, I have been avenged. The pigeon has been avenged. Well, technically, the pigeon that made me fail was called Dove, but she brought me a wood pigeon. Hell, I didn't specify to her what type of pigeon I wanted her to catch. So yeah, I was just happy that she called me a freaking pigeon. Oh my gosh. So a couple of weeks ago on horse riding, this is only going to be brief. I actually got my certificate for my bronze challenge award for lunging. Yeah. So it's basically, we did basics, and yeah, I passed it like last year, I want to say I passed it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I passed it last year. And the certificate hadn't arrived. She'd ordered it, but it hadn't arrived. So yeah, this is a picture of me on Buzz. Apologies for the look on my face. My riding hat always makes my eyebrows look really weird. But there's an image of me on Buzz with my bronze lunging certificate. Whoop whoop. So yeah, I am a very happy person. But no, also that week I had my Zoom with my one of my favorite YouTubers, Rachel Ray. So I know I've mentioned this before. I'm a Patreon to her Zoomies tier. So basically that gets me her live streams, and also once a month I get on a Zoom chat with her, with other people of course, and it is so fun. It's such a hoot. The conversations we get into are absolutely hilarious. You know, obviously there's like a serious side to it. There'll always be a serious side to it. You know, we do talk about serious stuff as well as having fun and stuff. So, one of them had recently moved because there was like some stuff going on with a family that weren't white in the neighborhood, and the person was saying to her husband, "We're moving because I can't watch this racism. It's horrible." And I think they're saying, they were like going to say to the estate agent, you know, try and sell it to like a family of color, just to like tick the neighbors off, because it sounds like the neighbors that were giving the other people grief aren't very nice. So also she was asking, you know, what kind of things should I watch on UK TV, because she's got one of these VPNs, so she can access like things that aren't available to her in the US. And this got onto Naked Attraction. It said, I don't know if, well, it's not a good show, but don't know if you have it in America, Naked Attraction. And so then I was explaining to this lady the concept of Naked Attraction. Everyone's just having a laugh about it. I mean, Rachel was like laughing because she was saying, "Is that the one in Tubes?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's that one." And it was hilarious, like talking about it, and then it was like saying, "Oh, do you have the show Naked and Afraid?" I was like, "Yep." And we were asking about what, because apparently you can have like 2 luxury items to take with them, and people were like asking what their luxury items were. I said underwear. I know that kind of defeats the object of the exercise, but I mean, I never go on a show like that, but I would definitely be like, underwear, that's my luxury item, because it's a bra. So yeah, that was fun. But no, we got into like other stuff as well. We were talking about crafty stuff as well as you know, obviously serious life stuff. But it's always just such a hoot, because I always finish those Zooms with just such a smile on my face. And yeah, it's like some of the stuff that we just get into. I mean, 99% of the time, we will get into the topic of food. That's a very popular topic. Very popular. And yeah, I actually, part of it, I did eat my homemade stir fry for part of it. So yeah. But no, it's just really, really fun. It's just a nice community thing to do, and yeah, you get to meet loads of people, because it's not just people from your country, it's people from all over the world. Yeah, I know. So now we are going to get into the tea. We are going to get into the tea. So this happened. So the first story of this happened last weekend, and then this weekend. So I know I've mentioned in the past, we have at the cinema where I work, we have a lot of issues with Irish travellers. And you know, there's always like, when you see a particular group, you always know when there's going to be like issues. You just know. It's like, okay, here we go, button down the hatches. So yeah, I got to work, and yeah, they were going to see Fast and Furious. You know, everything's fine. There was a bit of you know, there were some kids that I had to deal with. The kids are the main like issue, and also the young people, and also the younger generation with families. So yeah, everything was fine. We didn't get any disruption from the younger people's screen, which was good, but it all happened, the first part all happened when their film had finished. So they were just sitting in the foyer. That's normal. You know, we do ask people to leave. They can't just keep sitting in the foyer if they're not watching a film. You know, that is our policy, because they're basically blocking up unnecessary space, and especially at the moment, because we've got a pandemic going on. So yeah, we kind of really want to minimize space now. We have a bar that has been closed for about, I want to say like 3-4 years. I think it's about 3 years. And yeah, there's no point us opening it because we don't really use it. We never have when I've been there. I mean, I've had the odd bar shift, but yeah, we don't really kind of have anything. You know, every now and again we might open the box up there, which is in screen 6. We might do that, but yeah, we don't really have anything that really happens in bars, so it's not really worth us opening it. But what a lot of kids like to do is, when they're bored and in search of fun, is we have a lot of kids that will run up there, and then we have to go down and get them. And yeah, these 3 boys, they ran up to the bar. I saw one of them on the balcony. I thought that they were thinking of, because of where they were loitering, I had a feeling that they were going to try and go up to the bar. So I had to say to my colleague, right, you need to keep an eye on this. They've gone up the bar, I'll deal with them. So I ran up, and I was kind of not in a good kind of mental health day that day, so I was a lot more kind of feisty than I'd normally be. I know that's not really a good thing, but you know, when I'm having a really bad like BPD day, borderline personality disorder day, where I'm like really struggling with it. You know, my temper is, sorry, I'm gonna just have to go for lunch. And we're back. So I was going on about the Gypsy Boys running up to bar. So like I was saying, I was having a really bad borderline personality disorder day, and normally I have a lot of patience for kids. However, with the Irish Travellers, unfortunately, I have less patience with them than I would normally with kids that were annoying me or winding me up or whatever. But it's just, like I say, you know when you're going to have trouble. You know when there are going to be issues. Everyone knows it. And yeah, so got my colleague to watch the floor area while I ran up and dealt with them, and I just went out. No, it wasn't out, it was down. There we go, down. And then they were like, oh, all right. And then they started saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my sister on you. Bear in mind, his sister is sitting in the foyer near the bar, well, near the steps that you have to go use to get up to bar. Oh my gosh. And she looks about 15, 14, possibly. So in my mind I'm like, yeah, what's your sister gonna do? And then one of them turns around and goes, yeah, we'll get our parents on you. And I just give him a look of, is that meant to scare me? And he like just keeps going on, and I'm like, in the back of my mind I'm like, you get your parents on me, I will call up my future father-in-law, and then your parents will be arrested for assault. Because yeah, it's always, if they call their parents, they're always looking for a fight, and it doesn't matter who you are, they will go in and they will beat you up. And yeah, it's one of my managers keeps giving refunds to the troublemakers, which isn't good, because obviously that's giving them an incentive to come back and misbehave, because they know if they misbehave they're going to get refunds. Whereas we need to just say, look, you can't come here anymore. We don't just, when they cause trouble, we don't just ban them for the night and they can come back again next week. They're banned. That would be how I'd do it if I was manager. But yeah, after that, I got the kids down and they were like hiding behind the IMAX poster, and then I had a massive queue of people, and I knew they ran up to bar because I saw them go. So I called James, because I was like, I am not dealing with them, because when getting those boys down was, you know, a nightmare enough, because they were like being gobby and talking back. One of them, I'll be honest, I nearly grabbed one of them by the ear or the scruff of the neck. But then if I did that, I would have child services on me, because that would be seen as child abuse. So yeah, I tend not to lay my hands on kids. However, if they really had pushed me, then it would have been, I would have grabbed one of them by the scruff of the neck. most likely, rather than the ear. However, I would have not have liked to have dealt with the parent that would probably be waiting for me after work. However, if they did, I would be able to be like, assault. But yeah, so that's that thing. So, you know, we've dealt with those. They're out. And then, as I was mentioning before, we have obviously we have issues with the younger families that come in. So there were two sets of families. They were obviously like friends and stuff. Came in with nothing. They came in, ordered tickets, and I saw them, like, the kids running around. So they had a toddler and probably a boy that was no more than, I would probably say, about 5 or 6. The little girl, she was probably about 2, I would guess, probably about 2. But yeah, that kind of age. So she was really quite young, and I saw them with these sort of, so we have a display for our gift boxes, and they have like the little Hawaiian leis in them, you know, the plastic with fake flowers on and stuff. And I'd seen them running around. I thought that was odd. I swear they didn't come in with them, and then they left with them still holding the leis. I was like, hold on. So then I went to go and check the display. Yeah, you can see where this is going. The little darlings. So the glass for the display, we had only just replaced. Like, seriously, we had replaced it like a couple of days before, because it had broken a couple of years ago when someone had to take it out and clean it. They broke the panel, so we'd had to wait for quite a while to get that panel replaced. And like I say, you can probably see where this is going. So while the little darlings have been paying for tickets, or why their parents have been paying for tickets, so the panel was meant to open this way, and they'd kicked it, so it opened that way, and the gap that was left is when you pushed it in, it was just wide enough to get some little hands in. Well, it would have been a very big gap for little hands, but yeah, so they took the leis. It was kind of the way of how we kind of determined that they'd possibly done something to the display was that one of the gift cards, display gift cards, was on the floor near where they'd been paying. And so I thought, oh, that's a little bit odd. Well, actually, no, somebody else spotted it, and then I saw it and I thought that's a bit odd. So then I went and checked the display, and like I say, they had stolen the leis. No, they're not leis, they're lies. They'd stolen the lies from the display, the little whatnots. And yeah, so I obviously showed my manager. Now this manager's the one that gives them refunds if they kick off. And we will get into that in a bit, because there is a story with him, like, on the next week when I get into like this week. And so I showed him, and he obviously, you know, made a note, and he was like, oh. Then about 2 hours later, they came back because they were watching Fast and Furious 9 in our IMAX screen. And they they still had the lies. One of the mums had one of them wrapped around her wrist. Very subtle. But obviously, we can't, say, oh, you've stolen that. We can't point fingers without proof, even though we know they've done it and we know how they've done it. We can't just point fingers when they come in, because that's just asking for trouble. So, yeah. Basically, they got in, and they, they went to watch the film. We hear nothing until customers start coming out of the film, and they're saying, the kids were misbehaving and kicking the backs of customers' seats. She was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was because there were two of us on the floor area. I only heard about this in passing, but it gets better. So while I was on break, I could hear someone was using the air hockey machine. Yes, someone was using the air hockey machine. And it was the father and the son. That air hockey machine is annoying as anything, but it's one of the only few things in that games machine corner that works. So yeah, I'm on my break at this point, and I come back, and I'm checking the game area, and I'm like, and I see that the puck is missing, and one of the sort of the like handle things that you go to flick them about when you're playing with is missing. So we only have like one of the hitty things, and we're like, oh gosh, okay. And yeah, you can guess what's happened. They have stolen the puck and the one of the hitty things. We're just going to call it a hitty thing. Which is like, why? What are you going to do with it? It's, usually what we see them trying to steal, or what we see them steal, is the sweets. That's normal. But the air hockey stuff, come on. What are you going to do with that? So, yeah. Our games corner is basically just, it's broken. We have a Fast and Furious driving game as well. That's broken, so we've had to get someone out to fix that. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about the air hockey thing. Obviously, it's closed. We can't use it. No one can use it because we haven't got the pucks for it. But it's just. It's just like so annoying. Right, now we're going to go into the story of this week. I actually have my planner with me because obviously with all the flip that's happened, I've obviously, had to write so much stuff down. It's mad. It's the amount of stuff that is written down here. Is like, because I know what I'm like. I knew I'd forget. this stuff, which is why it was written down. So let me get into the story of the gypsies this week. This was a different group, you know, but this group were repeat offenders of stealing stuff. And so they went to go see Fast and Furious in one of our screens, and someone comes out and is saying that, you know, there are people being really loud. And so we're like, oh gosh, okay. So we management go, and they get, you know, they have a word with them, and they're like, you know, you guys need to be quiet, you need to calm down. And they were going, oh, okay, we can do that. So yeah, we were just keeping an eye on them, etc. And the awkward thing is that this party was all spread round the cinema, but we knew exactly who it was because they all come in together. So yeah, that wasn't an issue. When you know who it is and who they're describing after so long, it's like, okay, you kind of, it doesn't really surprise you anymore, in a way. So they asked me to cover the ice cream stand while my male colleague that was on it, he went to go and help management with the travellers. And, you know, it was all quiet, nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden there's just this shouting in the corridor, and I pop my head round because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what the heck is happening? I'm thinking, do I need to like protect anyone? And yeah, no, thankfully I didn't. They management team and this other colleague, they handled it really well. And I mean, they really did handle it well. You know, they were just all effing and jeffing. I mean it. They were really kind of going and like swearing and everything. It was like chaos. And yeah, so like I say, there is a manager that gives them refunds a lot, which isn't good. And yeah, he was the manager that was dealing with it. And yep, you can guess where this is going. They got refunds on all their stuff. And he said, yeah, you can't come back today, but yeah, if you come back, you know, you guys can come back another day. And it's like, and they're still effing and jeffing at the managers, bear in mind. And I'm like, oh my god, just no, you need to just put your foot down and say no. You know, the fact we have repeat offenders, you know, if I was a manager, I'd have kicked that group out long ago. So it's obviously they're still kicking off and everything. One of them goes to the toilet, and we think, oh, here we go, they're going to try and run, this person's going to try and run through the screens. So we were keeping an eye on the toilet that he was in, which thankfully was in the foyer. So, you know, I think if he'd said, oh, can I go into the toilets and point at the ones behind me, would have been like, no, there are ones in the foyer, you can use those. So yeah, that was fun doing that. And yeah, I was just like, and it's like when they came back, so, you know, my manager, so I was just like, are you guys okay? That sounded like really, really bad. And they were like, oh yeah, no. And it's my male colleague, he told me about what had happened, and it's just like, oh my God, okay. But no, he was in agreement with me that we can't keep giving them refunds, because it really is, it is honestly, it's just basically saying, hi, yeah, if you come here, we'll give you a refund if you misbehave. And it's just not, yeah, it's just, we can't keep doing that, because it's honestly, it is just getting like ridiculous now, because it's always the same group. It's always the same group that causing the issues. And I was saying to him, you know, one of these days, you know, one of us is going to get hurt, either ourselves or a customer is going to get hurt from these people, because they're going to think it's all right, and then the police are going to get involved, and they're going to be like, well, why didn't you stop it sooner? Yeah, it's a whole situation here, people. Oh my gosh, it's just kick them out, please. The ones that are being stupid, please just kick them out. But no, I was having a really bad anxiety day that day. Honestly, it always seems to be Sundays where I get really bad days with my mental health. I don't know why. I think it's probably because the next day I know I'm going horse riding, and I'm like, woohoo, I can be free. I think that's probably what it is, but I don't know. Hold on. Right, okay. Sorry, I'm just like really kind of struggling with things. I don't know why. Okay, sorry, excuse me, I'm just trying to figure out colours. This is the awkward thing when it's like when they're all similar colours, because then you're like, right, which one? Okay, right, I think I've got it. Pretty sure that's B. Sorry, this is so weird. And then pretty sure that's a C. Have a look. Yeah, that's 4. That's this one. Cool. Sort that out. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Right, there we go. We've got that sorted. So, God, my dad's gonna be really loud and talking on his phone. Sorry, I'm just gonna chill all the time. It's okay. It's alright. But yeah, so they got refunds, annoyingly. Like I say, I was having a really bad like mental health day again. And yeah, I basically just kind of, I was just really nervous, and we had a whole load of newbies, and yeah, we've only just like hired, so we've got a whole load of new people in, and that brings my social anxiety through the roof, because I get really nervous in front of new people. My tea's going cold. Whoops. I'm going to try and finish this as quick as I can. My tea, that is, not the WIP and Chat. But no, we were. So after that, you know, it was a fairly uneventful evening. You know, I did warm up to the newbie, but yeah, it took me like a couple of hours, and that's normal. I was meant to be training somebody today, which is actually Thursday, when I'm recording this. But yeah, they couldn't do today, so therefore we are not. So therefore, I'm not training, which I'm disappointed, but in a way I feel relieved that I'm not training, because yeah, it just means that it's going to be a nice relaxing shift without having to worry about looking after somebody whilst serving customers during the opening couple of days of Black Widow. But yeah, I have trained one person before and they turned out okay, so you know. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. But you know, hopefully when the next round of newbies come, hopefully maybe I will be training. If I'm not, it's okay, but if I do, but yeah, I was helping my colleague train his person. Actually, I felt more comfortable co-training than actually just training by myself, because it meant I had someone else to like rely on and fall back on. But yeah, so that was that. But no, like I say, Sunday, oh no, it wasn't Sunday, it was Saturday, sorry. Saturday it gets more interesting. So I was doing something and we have some people come in and they just ran through people, and apparently they had a loudspeaker and they like ran into one of the screens, which was the last screen that was playing Fast and Furious. So yeah, we did some checks and they actually found them, and they did actually, I think the night vision kind of gave them an incentive to come out and you know, purchase a ticket. How they knew exactly what screen to run into, I don't know. I honestly have no clue. But yeah, they went in and out a couple of times, and we did have to have words with them because they were being quite loud. And oh god. But no, honestly, in all fairness, I shouldn't have let them in, but because of how I was feeling, I kind of didn't think it was, honestly, when I have a bad day and things aren't going well, you know, I don't think as well as, you know, maybe I should, but that's just because my mental state is all over the place. And you know, they like came in and out a couple of times. On the second time, I think it was, I saw one of them had a glass bottle, and I was like, yeah, you can't take that into the screen. We don't allow glass in screens, because obviously, say if something does happen, then obviously the glass can be used as a weapon. So yeah, I said what you can do is you can leave it with me, because the guy really wanted the bottle back. And I mean, in all fairness, it was a really nice glass bottle, so I can kind of understand why he wanted it back. And so I was like, okay, yeah, if you leave it with me, I will give it back to you at the end of the screening. And yeah, it was just, I did have a word with them as well about how rowdy they were being. They were really like understanding. But the guy with the glass bottle, at one point he did really need the loo, and he tried to get into the girls' locker room. Obviously it's keypad coded, so there's no way he was going to get into it. And someone was like, "You're right." He was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for the bathroom." I was like, "Oh, there it is," and he found it. I was like, "Yeah, you won't. I don't think you're going to find it in the girls' locker room." But yeah, he was like really embarrassed, and he was laughing about it. But you know, they were really nice lads. At the end of at the end of the day. And yes, he did. But yeah, I said to the guy when I'd got his bottle, I said, I will give this back to you, you know, at the end of the screen, at the end of the film. Come and find me and I will give it back to you. But thankfully they were the first people out of that screen, so yeah, it didn't take that long. But it was once we were at the doors and we were about to clean it and I heard them coming out, I just ran back to my little cupboard by the doors, got the bottle out and just gave it to him. He was like, thank you. But no, he had a little bit in it and he downed it, you know. That obviously should have been a red flag for me, saying, right, you've just done that, and you know, I should have kicked him out, really. But like I say, not a good day. And you know, we'd had so much rubbish happen. We'd had to deal with some girls with ID. They tried to get into, can't remember which film it was, but I know it was a 15. It might have been Quiet Place or something, but I cannot remember for the life of me which one it was. And so I had the lovely ID disputes. Woohoo! Those are always fun. And so did the newbie. She dealt with hers really well, but it was with that ID dispute, I kind of like fell apart. Normally I'd be like, yeah, no, to me you don't look of age, but instead of saying that, I said, yeah, I'm not great at identifying ages, so I'm doing it as a precaution, which, you know, yeah. And I just explained that I wasn't allowed to, you know, take word of mouth or anything. One of them had a birth certificate, but because it's not photographic ID, I can't accept it. It could, you know, it could be a copy. But no, that manager, he ended up dealing with them. But yeah, we had to keep on going into the screens, obviously, to do screen checks, piracy. And every time he came in, they just laughed. And I did say to them, it's a legal requirement, girls. But yeah, I think they actually thought we were keeping an eye on them. Which obviously we were, because we were making sure they didn't go into the screen. Oh, I remember what it was. It was Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. Of course it was. But yeah, so that's that on that front. But yeah, no. So yeah, I kind of was like not thinking properly and everything. It had been a stressful night. The closers the previous day had not done the suites, so we were basically, the suite racks were very bare, and that wasn't fun. Doing that and dealing with that, it was just blech. But yeah, it's like I say, the stories don't stop there. So as I said about the drunk guys, you know, they were in there, you know, everything was fine. I was closing screens and all of a sudden I hear shouting from the foyer, and I'm thinking, what on earth is that? So I ran over to investigate, and I see these boys that they were like 12, 13, like in the foyer, and there were these older boys that were like, I'd probably say 16, 17, that were like picking on them. And my manager and another colleague, she's important to the story, they were like trying to keep them out, and I basically, the only thing I could think of was I'm gonna just put myself between these young boys and yeah, these ones, in case one of them, say, breaks out and attacks and breaks out of my colleague and my manager, and manages to get through, then they've got me to deal with. Now, like I say, I have a lot of patience with kids, and if sort of older teenagers are picking on kids for no reason, then, you know, they have a situation. But they come from the bowling alley, which was next door, and from what I can understand, the little kids have come in the cinema for protection. To try and get away from them, but the boys had followed them in, and I was trying to like keep these people back because I didn't want it to turn into a fist fight. That was the last thing I wanted. But yeah, we managed to get the boys away, and I made sure that the younger ones were okay. They all went on their separate ways, thank God. But yeah, so that was fun. And then it was something happened with the drunk guy, like something about the drunk guys came up, and manager started yelling at me, like saying, why didn't you stop them drinking? They're not allowed to drink on the premises. What were you doing? La 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 la. And it's like, in that moment, I'm not thinking straight. You know, I've just protected some young boys from potentially being hit. And, you know, I've got my manager that was giving the gypsies a refund screaming at me. And I'm thinking, hold on, we're not allowing customers to drink on premises? Bear in mind, I'm so shocked. I can't even talk. So my female colleague comes up and says, that wasn't them. That wasn't the drunk guys. They're still in their screen. And so then manager walks off, doesn't apologise. He still hasn't apologised for that, you know. And yeah, it's kind of the next day on the shift, he was kind of like avoiding me. I knew it. I knew he was trying to avoid me after what happened. My TL that was there, she apologized on his behalf. She was like, I know it's like not much, but this manager most likely isn't going to apologize. And yeah, after he shouted at me, I went back to the screen that I was finishing, and at this point my whole resolve had just gone, and I let it out. I cried to my co-worker, and he was like, you need to go sit down. And I was like, no, I just need to stay busy. And I just kept working. But I was just like, I was just so upset that had happened. But yeah, so that's the tea with that. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else. No, I've said about those. I said about the Dragonlings and books DP along. I mentioned that. Yeah, I actually think that's about it, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, I think as you can probably guess, this will be a longer one. But yeah, I'm just glad I've got it out, and yeah, I'll probably be doing work on it tomorrow. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Everything I've used will be linked down below. But if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and possibly consider hitting the bell to be notified when I put up a video. Normally it's once a week, but sometimes you will get the occasional twice a week video. Occasional. But anyway, that's all from me, and thank you so much for watching. Hi everybody, it's the next day. So I realised on my way to work yesterday that I forgot to mention a couple of other things about my week. So this is all this week, the 2 stories that I've got to talk about are this week only, so we haven't got any confusion of going back and forth. Not that I don't think that we did that, so I'm gonna have to, you know, edit all of this later tonight and yeah, get it ready. But yeah, so basically, first thing I wanted to get into was on Tuesday. Yes, it was Tuesday. I went and saw my friend, who is also one of my subscribers, Hannah. Yeah, and she was we just had a general catch up because we hadn't seen each other in like a really, really long time. So yeah, that was a really fun afternoon. We went to a really nice coffee shop, and then we just walked around Chichester. Weather wasn't great, but yeah, no, definitely it was a lot of fun. You know, we had a really, really good catch up and stuff, and so it was like I was able to kind of update her on everything that's been going on and everything. Yeah, so like I say, the weather wasn't the best, and I forgot to grab a coat, so Hannah, bless her, she actually bought me an umbrella, from her home. Okay, me and umbrellas, we don't have the best history. I have people who have lent me umbrellas in the past and will now no longer lend me an umbrella just because of how many I managed to break. I mean, hell, I think I'm cursed with umbrellas. Sorry, I'm just trying to move part of my really long microphone cable out the way. There we are. That's better. And I think Hannah saw why it wasn't a good idea. I saw that she had an umbrella and I said, oh, that's okay. Hopefully we won't need it because me and umbrellas don't have the best track record. So we got our coffees. We got mochas. I mean, I hadn't had a mocha in a really, really long time, so. And for anyone who asks, yes, I do occasionally drink coffee. I'm normally a tea drinker. I'm normally a really big tea drinker. But, you know, because of the weather, it was a little bit, so I needed that caffeine boost to go, woohoo! And I'm definitely incredibly glad that I did get a coffee. So for anyone who doesn't know what a mocha is basically it's coffee with hot chocolate, and it's really nice. And the place that we went to, they do really, really nice. They do a really nice mocha. But yeah, so like I say, we got out, and then it started. Sort of, we were like around the corner, and then it started to rain. So Hannah put her hood up and she gave me the umbrella. You know, everything's fine for about 2 minutes. We get out of this covered, it's not really an alleyway, but it was like a little bit sheltered, so it had houses on either side, so the road was quite narrow. Yeah, but we got out of that, so then we were like crossing the road, and you can see where this is going. There was a big gust of wind. And what happened? Well, what always happens with me and umbrellas, the wind managed to blow it inside out. And I was like, oh no, that's another one I've broken. But thankfully it was a really sturdy umbrella and we managed to fix it. But yeah, I think that has definitely reaffirmed my belief that that I should never be trusted with umbrellas. Next time I'm bringing a coat. But no, thankfully it didn't rain heavy. It wasn't super heavy, the rain. The only time it kind of really got a little bit heavy was we went through a place called the Bishop's Garden, which is so you've got the cathedral, and visitors are allowed to go and walk around the gardens that are in the vicinity of the cathedral. And there was kind of I think it was probably like a gatehouse or something at one point, or maybe even a place where like the monks used to live. I don't know. This probably sounds absolutely weird, but yeah, we got out from under there, and then pew! Let's just say we quickly ran to cover. But no, we had a really fun chit chat, and yeah, it was just like a really fun out. And also I met her little dog Squid, who she was very cute. I have to say, she was adorable, and where she's quite tiny, she still looks like a puppy. But yeah, no, it was she was just so cute. No, it's Hannah went and got her on her lead, and so because her sister was going on holiday, so obviously I didn't go in the house, and also we're still in the middle of a pandemic at the moment, so probably wouldn't have been wise to anyway. Yeah, and so Squid came out on a lead, and she was so cute. But no, I did a couple of scratches, and then I pretended to like pick her up and be like, bye. But no, I've got cats anyway, so it wouldn't have been a great idea for me to have to bring back the dog anyway. And also, Hannah knows where I live. So she'd know where to come knocking. I'm like, give me my dog back, please. No, I mean, I love dogs. I do, but I'm more of a cat person. But yeah, it was a very fun like hour that we had, because like I say, it was her lunch break, so we couldn't really kind of do a whole load. But yeah, no, it would have been quite fun if, say, she'd taken Squid for a walk, but apparently she's a bit of a princess when it comes to the rain and doesn't like going for walks in it. So, but you know, the weather was horrible, so I can't exactly blame her. But no, that was a really fun like day and catch up. It was, you know, we hadn't seen each other in a really, really long time, so it was just catching up. And yeah, also we got into, obviously, the conversation of Robin and her baby. So I reckon that Robin is possibly going to give birth either this weekend or next week, because apparently last weekend the mucus plug, I think she said that was what it was called, that went, so that popped. So basically she is getting ready to go into labour, and she's been having like the little mini contractions. I know that on the day of recording this, she was having a scan to see, get a rough idea of when Dexter was due. But yeah, I had to go round there on, when was it? On Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Did I go on Tuesday? No. When did I go round? I'm trying to remember when it was I went round. It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday I went round. Yeah, because her other half is back in the country now. So he's back in time for the birth. He might not be able to be there with her if she goes into labour like this week, because he's obviously quarantining at her house. So yeah, he won't be able to be there, which is a shame. I mean, my heart goes out to a lot of kind of fathers or people that have become fathers during this pandemic, because at the very start, when everything went into lockdown, they basically said that only the mothers were allowed to be in the delivery room, which I thought was a little bit, I didn't exactly agree with it. But now it's kind of, things have eased a bit. You can have one person with you. So it's obviously, if she goes before Will's, if she goes before her boyfriend Will comes out of quarantine, then she, it'll be her mum. But if obviously he decides to come after Will has finished his quarantine, then obviously he will be present for the birth. Oh God. Excuse me. I'm just gonna close my window because I think that the neighbours have started a fire and I can't stand wood smoke. I do apologise. Our next door neighbour, he started a fire. Normally he comes around and tells us when he's having a fire, but he didn't tonight. So yeah, I'm basically going to have to cook in this room because it's very, very muggy, and it's like I can't stand the smell of wood smoke anymore. It sets my asthma off really, really badly. So yeah, I had to go around, like I say, I went round on Wednesday. I'd asked on Tuesday if she was going to be around, so I could drop off that little Disney motif that you guys will have seen me working on, and it looks adorable. But yeah, so at about, I think it was about 7 o'clock, I went and dropped it round, and me and Robin were having a conversation because she's on a ground floor flat, and her window is bigger than the front door, which is quite funny. Yeah, we were having a really nice conversation. But on the way back from work, because I had been working that day, I asked her, she was saying that she was having cravings and had asked me to, bring her some cereal that she was craving, because, she was saying she hasn't really been craving during her pregnancy, but it's like since the mucus bit is gone, she really has been. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I got her this cereal, and I asked if she wanted me to also get her some milk as well. Not as a joke, but as a genuine question, do you want some milk as well? And I actually put in brackets, not a joke. And she was like, yes, please. And now on my way, I was on the bus at this point, and I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to pick up the cereal and stuff because I'm gonna be lugging a frame, and I really don't want to kind of lug this massive frame into the sort of the little corner shop at the end of my road. And obviously, you know, when you go through one of those things where in your mind the frame is bigger than you think. Yeah, I basically went through that, where the frame it was smaller than I thought, but in my mind it was massive. So yeah, I was basically carrying things in like one hand, and she was like, oh, are you sure you're okay carrying all that? You know, it's not going to be too heavy. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But yeah, no, I saw her, and I was having a conversation at the front of the flat, or she was talking through the window, bless her. She was getting her other half to watch Doctor Who, like obviously the older episodes, so like stuff with David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston. And I mean, it was after Peter Capaldi went, that's when the writing really kind of started to show. I liked Peter Capaldi's Doctor, but then when Jodie Whittaker took the reins, that's when it went a little bit shoddy, and the script writing really reflected that. I mean, this thing, Peter Capaldi, he was given naff scripts, but he made it work. And that's the issue with Doctor Who. It's like, you know, it's great, but the awkward thing is that the script writing has just really gone downhill, and it's just not as good anymore. So yeah. So we were debating which one to watch. I did suggest my favourite Doctor Who episode, which is School Reunion, which is obviously, for those people who know Doctor Who, is the one with Sarah Jane and K9, my favourite tin dog. So yeah, that's a thing. But no, hopefully I know next week I will be able to record videos, because I'm off next Thursday, seeing as it's my driving test. So yeah, I will probably make a video on that Thursday after my driving test. So you guys will know how it went. I got my fingers crossed, but you know, we'll just see what happens on the day. And now I'm gonna let you go. So I will see you guys all later. Bye!